Alrighty guys, I'm doing page 1 of your Unit 5 review, Polynomials. I gotta give some shout out to my students in 8th period. Woohoo! Alrighty, here we go. For the first part, we are going to be looking at characteristics. I notice I don't have numbers on here, so we're just gonna estimate. If you'll look, you need to know the x-intercept, and there are 4 of them. You will need to know your minimum, your maximum, and your other minimum, okay? So let's look at our zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one is -4, 0. Next, x0, x-intercept, we're gonna put that one as -1.5, comma 0. We're just gonna round it to our nearest half. Next 0 is 1.5, 0. And our last one is 3 and 0. So go ahead and find all these points before you start. This right here is your absolute max. It's your absolute minimum. And absolute minimum is at -3, -3. This one right here is your relative minimum, and that is at 2, -1. Right here is your relative max, and that is at 0, 1. And your y maximum, highest of the high, is going to be approaching positive infinity. If you will label all these points, it will help you the most when you have to figure out what you need to write, okay? Take a look. It says, if no graph is given, estimate the required values. Find the zeros. You may use alternate methods when equation is provided. Notice I don't have an equation for you, so you will not be doing that. All right, take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quartic is x to the 4th, okay? Your domain, far left to far right. Notice it starts way over here at the negative and ends in the positive, so you can actually write all real numbers. Your range, your lowest y value is -3. Your highest y value is heading toward positive infinity. Your end behavior, left side, this one is heading northwest. So make sure you write the word limit. As x is approaching negative infinity, it's heading west. It is also going north. It's going up, which is heading toward the positive. This is positive, okay? Right side behavior, that's this one right here. This one is heading northeast. So limit, as x is approaching positive, see how it's going toward the east? It is heading up, so that makes it positive infinity. Your x-intercept is where you crosses the x-axis. There's 4 of them, so that's -4, 0, -1.5, comma 0, 1.5, comma 0, and 3, comma 0. Okay. Your y-intercept, where are you crossing the y-axis? Here's your y-axis. I'm crossing it at 0, 1. Absolute max, highest of the high, is positive infinity. Absolute minimum, this is the lowest of the low, -3, -3. Okay. Relative max, that is a maximum, but it's not the highest, but it's still a max, and that is at 0, 1. Relative minimum would be this one. It's low, but it's not the lowest, so that's at 2, -1. Now, interval increasing, you might need a little bit more help. All right. Where do you see an increase? From here to right here. I also see the increase from that point to that point, so there's 2 of them. Always x values. Where you see an increase? From -3 all the way to 0. And I see my x value here at 2, going all the way toward infinity. See how it keeps going? Relative minimum. Sorry. Interval decreasing. Starting at negative, coming all the way down, and then I have another one here as well, okay? So, relative minimum, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. Interval decreasing, starting right here at negative infinity, stopping at -3, starting at 0, down at 2. Okay, so there you have that graph. All right. Part 2 of page 1. This time I gave you some information. And if you need to go and label, you're more than welcome and label. Okay? And there's your 1, 4, and there's your positive, positive. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a quartic. Definitely not a quintic. Okay? And you know it's a quartic. Why? Because the end behaviors is in the same direction. Your domain, far left to far right. Your range, starting at negative infinity, stopping at 54. Your end behavior, here's your left. This one is heading southwest. Limit of x is approaching west, which is negative infinity. It is going south. Okay? The right-hand side, your limit, this time you're going southeast. As you're heading east, which is positive, you are heading down. So that's negative infinity. X-intercept, look across your x-axis. You're crossing at negative 2, 0, and you're also crossing at 2, 0. Okay. Y-intercept, you're crossing the y-axis at 0, 32. Absolute maximum, that's your highest maximum. So 154. Your minimum is negative infinity. Okay? You're heading down. Relative max. You don't really have a relative maximum. Relative minimum, there's really not one either. All right? Increasing. Starting here, stopping right there. There's your increasing. Where's your increasing x value starting from? Negative infinity. Following, x value is 1. Interval decreasing. So now this one's going down left to right. So there's your decreasing. Your decreasing, your x value starts at 1, going all the way to positive infinity. And there you have your second page. Good luck.